I'm going to keep it 100% a buck. I did not expect to win that game, especially after the Javier by a single, which at the time put the Tigers up 2-1 on the scoreboard. Obviously, the run got overturned. Chase DeLauder in his debut hosed the runner down at third. The run didn't score, kept the game tied, and I think that was the momentum shift that this Cleveland team really needed. But man, this team just fights, man. They're resilient. They don't go away. Even though I stopped believing, I think a lot of the fan base kind of stopped believing. It was 1-1 in the 8th. It seemed like nothing was going for this team. They couldn't get a hit. Neither could the Tigers. They leave guys on base left and right. I mean, their hitting is historically bad in clutch situations. In the 8th, the Guardians start a rally. They get the big hit. Rocchio comes through. Rocktober with the home run to right field. And then from there, the offense just breaks open and explodes. I mean, that could be the push. That could be the momentum that this team needs to really get going. Who knows? We got a win or go home situation tomorrow. Game 3 for both teams. I think the pressure is back on Detroit because they ultimately blew the division, blew the 15.5 game lead. So Cleveland can end it for them right here, and they're going to have a lot of questions over the offseason. AJ Hinch knows that. Their entire roster knows that. I mean, I've been listening to Tigers fans, like their podcasts. I don't think anything's off the table for them this offseason. So it's a big game for the Tigers organization. And for the Guards, they're just on house money. This has been a fun season. Nobody even expected this team to be here. So go out there, have fun. I would like them to run back the same lineup. Maybe put Chase DeLauder in right and put Schneemann in center and then bench Kafis or DH. I don't care what you do. I honestly like the way Vogt managed this game outside of pulling George Valera when he was red hot. He had a home run and then he made solid contact on his second at bat. He pulled him for, who did he pull him for? J-Rod. I did not like that move at all. But at the end of the day, moves like that have worked out for Stephen Vogt all season, so I can't really criticize that. And look, I know for Chase DeLauder, it was definitely a shaky start. He was feeling the nerves. That drop pop fly, man, my heart dropped. I was like, it's over. That felt like one of those Cleveland moments where Detroit was going to take advantage of the air. They were going to get a few runs. But as they have proven to do all last month, they cannot come through. They are not a clutch team at all. There's not an ounce of clutch in any of their guys, even their 3-5 hitters. So the Guards escape. Tanner Bibee makes some big pitches, gets out of that first inning tied. And from there, I was feeling pretty good about things. Again, DeLauder, every play he made in center field today looked shaky. But overall, he got done what he needed to get done. He drew a walk, put together great at bats. He hit a line drive that ended up being caught. I thought he had a pretty good debut. I mean, could you imagine being like, I don't know how old he is. He's probably like 25, probably mid-20s, because that's what Guardians prospects usually get called up. Could you imagine being that young and then you randomly get the call to join the team, and all of a sudden, in a do-or-die situation, game 2 with the season on the line, you're in the lineup in center field, batting 7th. I mean, I couldn't even imagine what was going through his head. I'm sure it was excitement because that was his first game. He made it. You could see him kind of admiring the crowd, kind of scanning around. We all got hyped for him when he did make his first catch of the night. I was in the bleachers, and I thought that was a cool moment. He seems pretty grateful for the opportunity. He seems like a humble guy. It'll be interesting to see what he can do tomorrow if he's in the lineup again in his follow-up performance. But overall, it was just the aura, kind of the energy that he brought to the stadium. I think the team desperately needed that tonight. And also, he kept Jonathan Rodriguez off the field until Vogt decided to put him in. But he never even did put him in because then Schneemann ended up hitting after the pitching change. So maybe that was just a strategy by Vogt. Again, it ended up working out in the long run because Schneemann had that big hit down the line to score Quan. And that was a big hit by Quan. I hope that gets him going to double down the line because he really has been, he's disappeared these first 2 games until that very moment. So we need Quan to get going. We still have yet to have a big October moment from Jose. Hopefully that comes tomorrow in game 3. I'm not going to say that Jose's unclutch. He's not. He's one of the greatest players in Cleveland baseball history, and there's no taking away from what he's done. But outside of like that 2-run home run he had against the Rays a few years ago in game 1, I mean, he hasn't had like that big game-changing swing in a big moment yet in October. So I think that comes tomorrow. It needs to happen. Again, nothing is going to change Cleveland's perception of Jose at this point. He's solidified what he is, but I'm looking for that big moment tomorrow. Somebody's got to step up. Today it was Rocchio. Tomorrow I think it's going to be Jose. And again, I know Jose doesn't see pitches. I mean, you could clearly tell they were pitching around him, and they're probably going to tomorrow. So that's really why. And he's been patient. He takes his walks. He works the counts. So you really can't blame Jose for any of this. He doesn't see pitches. He does what he can with the cards that he's dealt. Alright, so now that I got that out of the way, I do want to actually talk about this game because I know there were a lot of positives to end things off, but this was still a brutal, exhausting game to watch. I mean, in the bleachers, it was hard to just keep standing up when you knew no runs were being scored. I know Tanner Bibee, he always gets himself in jams, gets out of them, so he did what he had to do today. He only gave up 1 run. Should have been, or could have been 2. I mean, not should have been. But he did his job, but there were definitely some anxious moments. But ultimately, the offense has got to score more. I mean, yes, they scored 6 runs, but it really felt like they only scored 1 because the first 8 innings were just dry. Nothing was happening. They only had like 2 hits. They only had 1 hit through the first like 4 or 5 innings. So the offense has got to get going. I'm hoping that 8th inning was the spark that this team needed. Naylor, man, he's been so clutch over the last month. Schneemann, I hope he plays tomorrow. George Valera has been red hot. I would love to see him back in the lineup. He's had 2 big home runs. No Jonathan Rodriguez, and I kind of hate, like, he had a great series against the Texas Rangers, and I heard another show talking about this. It was the Rangers minor league team. They had nothing to play for, so I don't really think that should be weighed the same as what you're gonna do in October. I mean, and I don't know. Jonathan Rodriguez is not a guy that I want to see getting postseason at bats. I'd much rather see Chase DeLauder. I'd much rather see George Valera, who's already proven he can get clutch hits. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you're entitled to yours, but I'm not a big J-Rod guy, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. Another guy who really needs to finally step up is Kyle Manzardo. Now look, yesterday was Skubal. Today, there were a lot of lefties. AJ Hinch was kind of playing the matchups. So it's been tough, but he needs to get a big hit. I mean, you can't be hogging up that 4 spot. I know J-Rod had it yesterday, but you can't be taking those 4 or 5 spots and just not getting hits. I mean, at this point, I'd rather have Carlos Santana out there who can switch hit and withdraw walks. And on top of that, Kyle Manzardo's not a very good first baseman. He's better than Noel, but he's not elite. He's average. He's good enough. So it's just, if you're a first baseman in this league, you should at least be hitting 40 home runs a season, and he's not. I mean, he's hitting like 25, 26. I don't know what the exact number is, but his whiff rate is off the chains. Anytime there's a big leverage situation, you can pretty much chalk it up that he's going to strike out. Same with Gabriel Arias. Don't even get me started on him. I don't want to go on a rant because it's nothing personal, but I was hoping if the Guardians lost today that this would be the last game that I had to witness watching Gabriel Arias out on the field. Again, elite defender, elite. But at the plate, he's not even close to being competitive. I mean, you've seen when the intensity ramps up, the pitching gets better. He's late on everything. He's having uncompetitive at bats. He's not working counts. He's swinging at balls outside of the strike zone. I mean, that alone could fix a lot of his problems if he just swung at strikes and looked at the balls, but he doesn't. He's aggressive. He whiffs at pretty much everything. If there's a big situation where you need a guy to move a runner and he's up, you might as well just chalk up the strikeout. I'm tired of watching Arias have at bats, but then again, in random moments like he did against the Mets, he'll just launch one 450. But besides that and the defense, we need hitting, man. This team needs hitting. This has been a great defensive team. That's kind of their culture. This team needs a shortstop that can hit. We haven't had one since Lindor, obviously. That name gives me so much nostalgia, man. Imagine if this team had Lindor right now. I'm not talking about Mets Lindor. I'm talking about prime Cleveland Lindor. Oh my gosh, man. Because this team is already special enough as it is. Imagine if they had him. But no, they got Arias. Again, solid defender. He makes all the plays he needs to make. But at the plate, he looks completely lost right now. Not as lost as Jhonkensy Noel, but he looks pretty lost. Now for tomorrow's game, do or die, Game 3, it will be Jack Flaherty against Slade Cecconi. I'm a little nervous, but both these guys have around the same ERA. It's about 4.5. And Jack Flaherty has a 7-15 record, I believe. So for the most part, when he's pitched this year, the Tigers have lost. And I think that works to the Guardians' advantage. Just work the counts. If you get a big lead, or not big lead, if you get a lead early, bring the energy. I think the pitching is going to figure it out. I think Slade is going to have one of his best games of the year because he does have that dog in him. I know he struggled and he has those. That's my only worry. He does have those games where he'll give up like 4 runs in the first 3 innings. But if he can avoid that, get through those first 2 innings clean, I think he goes like 5 or 6 innings, gets it done, turns it over to the bullpen, and the Guardians win the game. Now, I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. I've never been more confident in a team in my life, but let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. And that's all I got for this one. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.